right? It's really sad if you take the average person, their social life, right, or their social options when it comes to friends, relationships, work opportunities, it's so limited. It's up to luck, and their friend circle might be, well, I still have a couple friends from like high school or college. I have my work friends. Maybe if you join some activity, right? Oh, I joined some swimming classes, I have some swimming friends or something. Like that's all you have. And out of that small pool of people, you better pray that there's some people who have the same values as you, same interests as you, same aspirations as you. And if not, then you're screwed and you just settle. You settle and compromise who you are. That's most people. They don't really like their friends. It's just the best they can get. Even in a relationship, it's like, well, out of the three options that I know, right, maybe luck will happen and I'll meet someone else. 3 options, which one's the best? And then they just rationalize and settle. And that's why most relationships are toxic too, simply because they don't have the ability to meet more people. For me, social skills was always like getting rid of that blockage. I always felt like there was this invisible glass or this wall between me and others, and I had so much to share. Like I knew, wow, if I could just come into my own and express who I am, it would be amazing, and just really milk life. Like that was a part of it, like self-expression, coming into my own, milking life, connecting with others. And then the other one too was, I want to find my tribe. I want to find people who I resonate with. Social skills is the key to that. You should be able to just, hey, see someone you want to say hi to? Done. You don't have to build up to it. You don't have to pump yourself up. Done. And another audit here, how much do you fantasize about this? The more you fantasize, that's not good. Because that means you're not doing it. That's most people, right? They have that small pool of people they know, and then they just fantasize about one day meeting a cool person. One day meeting that perfect business connection. One day meeting that perfect partner. Maybe at the grocery store, right? And then you'll play all these mental movies in your head, right? You know, I'm going to, like, for real, and I used to feel this way too, by the way, right? I remember in high school, I'd go to school, I'm like, maybe today's the day we'll exchange a word, right? And I had all these crushes on high school. I'm like, maybe if I go to high school and, you know, when we walk in class, maybe we'll walk in at the same time and we'll brush shoulders or something. And I would just kind of hope for that to happen, and that would get me through the day. That was my purpose that day. Crazy, right? And then it wouldn't happen, and I'm like, well, that's fine, maybe tomorrow. One day it'll happen, and it'll look like this, and it'll be like this, and I will talk like this, and it'll be so amazing. Just fantasize, fantasize, fantasize. No, make that a reality. Take action. You know, I put a video about this out, funny enough, on, it was on TikTok. It was an example of, you know, being clear in your intentions when you say hi to people. And I took the example of the grocery store where I said, you know, if you say hi to someone in a grocery store, let them know why you're saying hi to them, where it's very weird, right? If someone just walks up to you and out of the blue, they start asking you random questions, you're like, what do you want? No? Right? So that was the skit. It was a joke. It was funny. It was much more funny than I explained it here. But one of the comments was, oh, I wish people would come up and talk to me at the grocery store. No one talks to me at the grocery store. That was the comment. And I was like, stop waiting, you do it! Right? I just wish someone would talk to me. Why doesn't anyone talk to me at the grocery store? Why are you putting yourself in that situation? Once more, that's that self-imposed barrier of entry. I can't take action, I'm just gonna wait. And you gotta audit, is that your approach? Are you waiting on luck? Are you waiting on life to do it for you? Are you waiting on someone else to do it for you? It's not just life. People also do this with coaches. Oh, if I get a good coach, maybe the coach will do it for me. No, I'm not gonna do it for you. Hell no. I'll teach you how to do it, but you have to do it. I'm not doing it for you. No one's coming to save you. Stop waiting. Stop fantasizing. How sad is that? You're in this beautiful, amazing, crazy, chaotic thing called life, this experience, and then you're just escaping it in little fantasy land. No, you have the opportunity to actually make that a reality. For real. Learning social skills, especially coming from where I came from, like just being really awkward and shy, was no joke like learning a superpower. No joke. Everyone compares it, right? It's like once you learn, understanding the different dynamics, it's like you're reading the matrix code, right? The first matrix, not the fourth, the first. It's like, I know now every time we use that example, there's a bit of like, the fourth, why? But hey, the first was good. The first was good. I actually like the first 30 minutes of the fourth one, by the way. First 30 minutes were like, I dig it. And then it just, it was the social scammer of movies. It just got us in. We were just like, why? Right? God, that was just, So, but it felt that way. It's like you start reading the code and it literally was a superpower. Like, for me, most of the reasons I'm here today was simply due to learning social skills. Going from, again, I found out about this in 2006, going from super shy to suddenly being able to talk to people. I literally felt like I'm Superman, I'm Batman, I'm some superhero. This is crazy. The whole dynamic that shifted in terms of just self-confidence. Hey, if I can do this, what else can I do? That's what gave me the confidence to even move to America, right? Some of you probably know my story. I'm originally from Switzerland. I quit everything and moved to LA, right? Arrived here, a few $1,000s, my guitar, broke, and just worked my way up. How? Using social skills. No joke. If you take the classic Hollywood sad story of the person who, the Hollywood eats up and spits out, that's most people, right? They come here with all these goals. Maybe that's you, right? You're arriving. Anyone move here for some kind of goal? Or anyone not from LA move here? Raise your hand. Everyone else, you're born and raised in LA? Really? Whoa! That is insane. I had no idea. I've never met real LA people before. That's crazy. Okay, so for anyone who moved out, and this is an overgeneralization, but I could guarantee that one big reason a lot of them don't make it. They can't move up, even say acting career, you name it, social skills. Because yes, you need talent, yes, for sure. You need talent, but you also need connections. So much of success moving up is connections. You probably heard the cheesy saying, you're one connection or two away from X opportunity or X person. That's true. How did I do it? Like, I moved here, I didn't know Owen when I moved here. I was a nobody. I moved here and I worked at the Coffee Bean at the Grove. I was the barista. If you ever went to that Coffee Bean, I know it like the back of my hand. That was my job. And you'd smell like coffee all the time. It was terrible. You smell really gross. So I was working at the Coffee Bean, making minimum wage. It was like $8 at the time per hour. Then I got bumped to $8.15 and I think $8.30 an hour. $8.30. It was a big deal for me. I would make around like $800 to $1,000 a month. I'd live on the floor in the living room of this one-bedroom apartment of this guy I met on Craigslist. Met multiple guys on Craigslist who I lived with in the living room floors on a little blow-up mattress. And that was me. I had nothing special, no different. It's like, here I am, kid from Switzerland, broke, working at the Coffee Bean in LA to achieve his dreams. There's a lot of people like that. Now, few traps, a little side tangent with this. One is people get too used to their comfort zone. So when you move here, usually it's pretty scary. It's a big deal. And you'll try to form your bearings in the new city. So, I got Coffee Bean. Okay, I got the routine. I go to the job. I do the coffee. I come home. Great. And you kind of hang on to that because it's better than the scary unknown. And then you hang on to that. You hang on to that. Time flies by. People aren't aware of it. And then next thing you know, you're 60, you're still broke, and it's terrible. Hollywood ate you up, spit you out. So what is one thing social skills taught me? Hey, break out of your comfort zone. Live outside your comfort zone. Live for the adventure. So I was always monitoring that. I never wanted to get stuck in that because I knew how dangerous that is. Okay, that was one. The other is I went out and I started networking like crazy with anyone, right? One of the first people I met when I moved here is a famous actor. For real, you probably know him, right? That was in his earlier days. Met him outside the Standard, and through him, just suddenly started networking, meeting all these other people, and now I am just nobody from Switzerland having certain connections. That's also how I met Owen. I knew of Owen, but I was very, very calibrated in terms of how I met him. Very, very calibrated. Even in terms of helping him out at first, like we knew each other, we'd see each other out and stuff. I made sure that every time we'd bump into each other, it was an amazing experience. But even at the end, it's like, hey, I'd love to work with you and help you out. That's how I first started teaching this, by the way. I started helping him out. And there were about 50 to 60 people who showed up and applied and interviewed for it. I beat all of them. Easily. Why? Because most people are stuck in that. They're waiting, they're awkward, there's all these red flags that come up. The bar is really low, actually, too. I wasn't even that good, I was just not terrible. I just had to make sure, hey, no red flags, show that you're normal, be a friend, not a fan, right? Show that you take action, which I did. There was a series of 4 interviews, right? The reason you do that, by the way, this is key, and you also see it in a dynamic when socializing called congruence testing, is you want to look for any cracks, right? You want to make sure that the person who you're interviewing is who they present themselves to be. So time, right, 4 interviews plays into that. Anyone could act pretty cool interview 1. What about interview 2? What about interview 3? What about 4? Can you still act the same way you presented yourself? Different interviews had different dynamics, right? There's another interview where Owen brought someone else and that person's just started grilling and interrogating you. How do you deal under pressure, right? So all that through social skills. Then in terms of building my brand and business was also social skills. Now I built it not in the way society shaped out, not in the most socially calibrated way, but there was still a lot involved. All social skills. That's the superpower. And it's also one thing that very few people have. And it's extremely attractive. Not just romantically, in all aspects. Anyone wants to be around someone who just radiates that charisma, who takes action too. Even starting out, by the way, I was terrible starting out, absolutely terrible. But I had people who were way better than me want to hang out with me. Why? Because I took more action. That's all they wanted. They were pretty good, they were intermediate, but they didn't take that much action. They were still scared. They would take a little bit of action here and there and just kind of, bask in their ego of like, oh, did pretty well, right? And for me, I was like, I don't care, I'm going to take tons of action. Now, I don't work my way up to that, but once that was the state I was in, they all wanted to hang out with me because they knew I'd be the person taking action. And there was a good value exchange there. They didn't take action, I did. Great. They knew more and had more experience, though, and I would learn from that. Always look for that value exchange. What teaches you that? Social skills. It all comes down to that.